Picture this. You're sitting in the salon chair, the cape is securely draped over your shoulders, and you're about to get a major service. I'm talking a dramatic haircut, a deep chemical peel, or maybe a super intricate set of acrylic nails. But right before the scissors snip or the chemicals are mixed, did you ever stop to verify your cosmetologist credentials? I mean, how do you actually know for sure they are qualified and legally permitted to practice in Washington state?
Well, let's dive right into this, because understanding how to verify a professional's license, it's literally your ultimate tool for safety and quality assurance. When you book a personal care service, you are trusting someone with your physical well-being, right? Knowing how to quickly check their status empowers you as a consumer, and honestly, it is so much easier than you might think. So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll quickly look at why verifying matters, how to search the portal, decoding your results, checking for disciplinary actions, avoiding lookup pitfalls, and staying informed. Let's get into it.
Section 1. Why verify? The stakes of personal care services.
Let's start with what a cosmetology license actually is and why Washington state takes it so incredibly seriously. The big takeaway here is that practicing without a valid credential is a major offense. The Washington Department of Licensing, or the DOL, oversees this industry with very strict regulations. If someone practices without a valid license, they can face administrative fines of up to $1,000 per violation. So it's not just some meaningless piece of paper. It's a strict legal mandate to make sure anyone providing hair, skin, or nail services has actually met essential educational and safety benchmarks. To really understand the rigorous standards behind a legitimate license, just look at the raw numbers. To become a fully licensed cosmetologist in Washington, someone has to complete a massive 1,600 hours of training at a state-approved school. Or they can do 2,000 hours in an apprenticeship. Just to put that into perspective, barbers need 1,000 school hours and nail technicians need 600. Plus, they all have to pass written and practical exams. When you verify that license, you are confirming they've put in the real work to safely handle those chemicals and shears.
Moving on to Section 2. How to search. Navigating the WA-DOL portal.
Now that we know why it's an absolute must, let's look at how frictionless it is to run a check. Washington actually has a highly centralized database managed by the Professional Licensing Division. You don't need to create a special login or set up a Secure Access Washington account to do a standard public lookup. It's super simple. You just open your browser, visit professions.dol.wa.gov, click on License Lookup, and type in the professional's name or their license number if you happen to have it. The whole thing takes less than a minute.
Section 3. Search results. Decoding the data.
Okay, so once you hit search, the database spits out a bunch of useful info, like the licensee's legal name, any registered trade names, and issuance dates. But the absolute most critical piece of data you're looking for is an active status. This is the ultimate green light you want to see before booking. Active means the professional is in full regulatory compliance. In Washington, these folks have to renew their credentials every 2 years. So if it says active, they've paid their dues, met the requirements, and are 100% clear to work.
On the flip side, if you see an inactive status, or even worse, suspended or expired, that is a massive red flag. There's actually a really common misconception out there that inactive just means a stylist is taking a brief break but can still take a few clients on the side, maybe out of their home. Totally false. Inactive status is a formal administrative hold requested by the licensee, and it's valid in 2-year extensions. While they have this status, they literally cannot legally practice or accept any compensation for services in Washington. Bottom line, if they aren't active, politely decline the service.
Section 4. Checking for disciplinary actions. Your due diligence checklist. Now, beyond just making sure a license is active, you really need to go one step further to ensure they have a history of safe practice. You can use that exact same DOL portal to dig up past complaints or disciplinary actions. It's pretty amazing. The system flags cosmetologists who have been disciplined in Washington, it highlights salons penalized for ignoring health and safety standards, and it even calls out post-secondary schools with violations. It is a fully transparent public record. Taking 10 extra seconds to check this ensures you aren't walking into a place with a track record of cutting corners on sanitation.
Section 5. Avoiding common lookup pitfalls. Navigating jurisdictional nuances.
So what happens if your search turns up completely empty? Don't panic and accuse your stylist of operating illegally just yet. There is a very common geographic mix-up you need to avoid. Make absolutely sure you aren't accidentally searching the Washington, D.C. municipal database when you really need the Washington State DOL portal, or vice versa. D.C. credentials are run by a totally separate agency, the DLCP Board of Barber and Cosmetology. If your search comes up empty, just do a quick double check that you're actually in the correct state system.
Also, you want to keep in mind how out-of-state transfers work right now. Washington did enact the Cosmetology Licensure Compact in 2025, but full implementation of those multi-state licenses doesn't actually kick in until June 1, 2028. What does that mean for you? Well, if a stylist moves to Washington from another state today, they can't just use their old license. They have to go through the standard reciprocity pathway to get a Washington-specific license before they'll show up in the WADOL system.
And finally, Section 6, Stay Informed and Safe, your next steps as a consumer.
Let's wrap up this explainer by talking about how to make this quick check a normal part of your routine. As the official regulatory guidelines point out, Washington's centralized system was built specifically to protect your health and welfare. The state has already done the heavy lifting by maintaining this accessible, public-facing database. You should absolutely be taking advantage of it. It takes literally seconds on your smartphone, and it gives you total peace of mind.
Quick disclaimer before we go. While significant effort has been made to provide accurate and up-to-date information in this explainer, regulations can, and do, evolve. Always consult official sources or legal professionals for the absolute most current WA/DOL regulations.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. The next time you go to book that fresh haircut, that intensive skin treatment, or a relaxing manicure, will you take 2 minutes to check the portal? Your safety and your health are absolutely worth it. Verify before you book and ensure you're always in safe, qualified hands.